Alright, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Huawei Mate X-T and just reacting to other people's videos on the phone. So let's get into that. So first thing first, honestly, most of the videos that I've watched, they just don't show the phone software at all. Like a lot of people are glazing over the hardware, the triple folding. It's really like two folds anyways, but the tri-folding phone, people are like, yeah, it's amazing. It opens up to be a big screen and it is really cool. The cameras look like they're decent for a folding phone as well. The thickness is decent. People are comparing it to the Z Fold 6. All that stuff, people react to the hardware, which is to be expected. But even now, it's like a month or two after the phone actually releases out in the public, there's not really any video showcasing the software of the phone. And I understand it's a very expensive device, but all the videos I've watched, it's literally just, like I said, just looking at the hardware and be like, wow, it's amazing. And I said, people are showing like full screen video, showing full screen Instagram, all these different things. And it really is kind of frustrating as somebody who uses foldable phones, somebody who uses tablets. When I see a big screen, the first thing my mind goes to is, multitasking, split screen. That's like literally the first thing I think about when I see a big screen or a folding phone or a folding device or whatever it is. How does it do with split screen and multitasking? Honestly, I don't think any of the videos I watched showed split screen at all, or like how you get into it or anything like that. The only video that actually kind of showcased that is Flossie Carter's second video, the 24 hours later video, where he's talking about his experience with the Mate X-T and how it improved over 24 hours. So it's just very frustrating and kind of disappointing because no one's really showing what the phone is actually like. But shout out to Floss because, he showed a little bit more, and like after seeing him use it, in his next video, the 24 hours later video, it kind of made me a little bit excited for the phone and kind of actually like want the phone. Before when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's really cool. It's a big screen. It unfolds 2 times and gives you a little tablet in your like an actual tablet in your pocket. I was thinking it's cool size-wise and hardware-wise, but the software wasn't really being shown. So, why would I even like think about owning that device when it's right now it's like 5.6K Canadian on sale. Regularly it was like 6,000 to 7,000 depending on the storage that you choose. So it's like, for me, I was like, why even consider that device when it's so expensive and it doesn't really seem like it has too much going on. But after seeing Flossie Carter use it in the second video, it definitely got me excited just because of how smooth it looked, how seamless it seemed, like apps were working after he tweaked it and stuff like that. And that's another thing, like it's a Huawei phone, right? So, Google doesn't play well with Huawei. But it seems like once you get certain things down, you can actually use it pretty well without too many issues. So, the second video from Flossie Carter, my reaction to that is kind of excited to see the phone in person one day and maybe try it for myself. And, honestly, you can become a member so that we can actually afford crazy devices like that and review them. If I had that phone, I would probably test the cameras to the extent. I would put it against the iPad Pro that I have, and just other folding phones, whatever I can get my hands on, I would compare the Mate X-T to, and even just dive deep into the software. But yeah, overall, my reaction to all the videos I've seen is just like no diss to those creators. I'm not trying to, poke a jab at them or whatever, but it feels like a lot of them just made the video to get clicks and stuff like that. So it's kind of frustrating as a fan of foldable phones, a fan of tech and stuff like that. I just wish people showed more of the software. Like, I've never seen a Huawei tablet. I've never seen a Huawei folding. Like, I've seen videos, but not really. Like, I haven't really seen too much on what the software actually looks like. And I know that Huawei has pretty cool features when it comes to like the connectivity between their different devices and the ecosystem they have. I've heard about that kind of stuff, but I've never really seen the software. So I wish, we got to see. And I'm not just talking about multitasking. That's one aspect of the software that I really care about for, big screen devices, folding phones and stuff. But even just in general, like what are the transitions looking like when you're scrolling through the OS? What are the little cool features that, might be there in the OS? Like, for example, with the OnePlus Open, there's features like drawing shapes on the screen when it's off to initiate certain things, like open specific apps and stuff like that. Or on the Honor Magic V3, you have like knocking on the screen and then you can do different shapes as well to do different functions on the phone. Or another one is how on the Honor Magic V3, you can drag a window or a floating window or an app whether it's from the top or in the middle or whatever, you can drag it to the side, to the left or right, or even to the middle to either expand it or to initiate a quick split screen session. So just like small features like that I'm really interested in. And I just wish, I got to see what it had. So if you own the Huawei Mate XT and you have been using it, let me know in the comments below, like what it's actually like to use it. What are the cool let me know about the cool software features that Huawei has packed into it. And let me know if, it's not really that special anyways. It's just like a cool hardware device, but the software sucks. I'm really interested to know the ins and outs of this device because it's a feat. It's a technological feat. It's the first of its kind, and we might see more like it in the future. But as of right now, this is the first and only one. So I would love to see more about what that phone is really saying, more than just like, oh wow, it unfolds 2 times. Like that's cool. But yeah, the cameras also, I've seen some photos and videos from the cameras, some samples, and they seem like they're all right. They definitely seem pretty decent. Like I would say, in my opinion, from what I've seen, I would say they're probably like in the middle when it comes to like foldable phone cameras. Maybe they need to be tuned or whatever, but I just feel like they're not anything special. A lot of reviewers have been saying like, oh yeah, Huawei put flagship cameras on this foldable phone. In my eyes, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it doesn't really seem like they are flagship cameras, to be honest. And it is what it is at the end of the day. I think most of these foldable phones have pretty good cameras. People knock Samsung's Z Fold 6 cameras because they're the same cameras as the Z Fold 4 hardware-wise. But I think those cameras are pretty good and honestly do better than maybe even most of the foldable phones on the market, despite having the weakest hardware. So hardware is interesting, but I do think the Huawei Mate XT's cameras, they're all right from what I've seen, but they're nothing special. If you're expecting the flagship cameras just because it's a Chinese foldable phone or because it's Huawei, who's known to have good cameras, I think you should lower your expectations a little bit. But it is a cool feat that they put such cameras on a big device that unfolds into a literal tablet. But at the same time, I feel like these Chinese foldable phones are kind of cheating because, people say like, they're very thin and have flagship level cameras, but at the same time, they are thin, but their cameras are huge. If the phone was the thickness, like with the camera bump, then the phones would be a lot thicker than like they actually are on paper. So I feel like they're kind of cheating in that sense. And it's not necessarily like a feat for like, putting a camera system in a thin device when the camera is protruding. The camera is like basically the same thickness as like the device itself. So I don't know, it's whatever. I'm personally, I don't mind it, but I'm just saying like, it's kind of interesting how, people attribute these things to these foldable phones and call it feats and stuff like that, call it innovation, when like it's just really like a different design philosophy, a different idea, maybe even cutting corners to fit camera hardware into a thinner device. But yeah, at the end of the day, it has a 5,800 milliamp battery. It's a decent size for a phone, but kind of small for a tablet. Tablets usually have bigger batteries. And from what I've seen on Reddit so far, from the few people that have reviewed it, it seems like the battery life is just all right. It's nothing crazy, but like it seems, just like average. So everything about the phone seems pretty average so far. And it's nothing like spectacular other than it can unfold twice. And it's just, leading when it comes to like folding phone technology. And yeah, it's a good device, good looking device. And I would love to get my hands on it to see what it's really capable of and how it handles in daily life. Durability is something that is a concern for a $6,000 device. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below on how do you truly feel about this device. Is this something that you can see yourself owning? Is this something that like you would want for yourself in the future? Do you think the other brands are going to come through and perfect this design? Do you think this design is going to fall off? Things like that. Well, let me know what you think. But until the next video, we're out. Peace.